The room was electric as the projector flickered to life, exposing a scam that had preyed on an entire neighborhood. Fake officials, caught on tape, laughing about extorting families. The final slide revealed their ringleader, a hardware store cashier posing as a director. The crowd erupted, but what unfolded next would leave even the most jaded reader reeling. Let's dive into the story from the start. It was a quiet Tuesday morning, the kind where the world feels soft and unhurried. The sun was just peeking over the horizon, dew clinging to the grass. David Harper, a data analyst and father of two, sat on his porch with a steaming mug of black coffee. His neighborhood, Crestwood, was peaceful, sprinklers hummed, leaves rustled, a dog barked faintly in the distance. Nothing seemed out of place until 3 sharp knocks shattered the calm. Too loud, too deliberate for 7 a.m. His wife, Emily, looked up from the kitchen, her brow furrowing. David set his mug down and opened the door. 2 men stood there, dressed in black jackets with bold white letters, HOA. The older one, mid-40s, wore sunglasses despite the dawn gloom. His partner, younger and wiry, chewed gum and clutched a citation pad. "Morning," the older man said, voice flat. "You David Harper?" David nodded, uneasy. "We're with the neighborhood compliance office. Your property's been flagged for violations." He thrust a manila envelope at David, stamped with an embossed seal and red letters screaming, "Immediate action required." Inside was a list of absurd violations: unauthorized garden statue, non-compliant porch light color, chipped mailbox paint, toys cluttering the yard, too many cars in the driveway. Total fines, $8,247. Deadline, 72 hours to pay or vacate. David's heart raced. This can't be right. We're not in an HOA. The older man didn't flinch. "New jurisdiction, retroactive enforcement. Your neighborhood's under our authority now." The younger one slapped an orange sticker on the door, "Eviction pending," and they left in a black SUV, tires crunching confidently on the asphalt. Emily read the letter, her hands trembling. Their sons, Ethan and Lucas, stood behind her, confused. "Why were those men yelling at Dad?" Ethan asked. Emily ushered them away, but panic clawed at her voice. David stared at the sticker, the cheap paper crumpling in his grip. No HOA had ever existed here. They'd bought the house 9 years ago for that exact reason. No rules, no fines, no petty oversight. Yet the letter felt real, its legal jargon chilling. Failure to comply will result in property reclamation under Article 17, Section 4. David scoured the internet. No trace of the neighborhood compliance office. Just a Gmail address and vague forum posts about similar scams. One woman in a nearby town had paid $4,000 before realizing it was fake. Emily found a local thread. "Men in black jackets showed up at my house, demanded $2,800 for violations. I paid. They vanished." David's blood boiled. "They picked the wrong family," he muttered. He called the city. No record of the office. The letter's return address led to a mailbox store. That night, the house felt suffocating. Emily paced, checking the blinds. The boys couldn't sleep, asking if they'd lose their home. David sat at the dining table, the letter glaring back like a loaded gun. Fear churned in his gut, but something else sparked: rage. Whoever these men were, they'd underestimated him. The next morning, David woke with a plan. He called in sick, grabbed a thermos of coffee, and parked 2 blocks away, watching the neighborhood. At 9:22 a.m., the black SUV returned. Same men, same jackets. David followed at a distance, heart pounding. They hit 4 houses, snapping photos, leaving citations, no inspections. Mechanical. Predatory. He photographed them from his car, capturing the older man, Greg, and the younger one, Ryan. At 11:03 a.m., they drove to a strip mall and entered a storage unit. David parked across the street, zooming in. Inside, a folding table, a printer, stacks of blank citations. No official signage. Just a scam HQ. That evening, David showed Emily the photos. "This is where they run it," he said. "A rented garage." Her eyes hardened. "So it's real. They're fake." David nodded. He drove through Crestwood, noting which houses had citations. He knocked on doors. Some neighbors were skeptical, others desperate. A widow had paid $3,600 to fix her fence. A veteran, Marcus, faced threats of property seizure. "I've been waiting for someone to fight back," Marcus said, voice low. By week's end, David's garage was a war room. Maps, photos, strings connecting victims. Emily spotted inconsistencies, fake signatures, random fine codes. The letterhead mimicked city formatting but lacked official seals. David tracked Ryan to a bar, recording him bragging. "Slap a sticker on their door, and they pay. We're up $6,000 this week." David's stomach churned. This wasn't just fraud, it was sadistic. He dug deeper, finding Neighborhood Standard Solutions, a shell company registered 6 months ago to a P.O. box. The name on the license, Nathan Reed. The same name signed on their eviction sticker. Nathan wasn't just involved, he was the mastermind. Greg and Ryan were pawns. David's pulse quickened. "This isn't a scam," he told Emily. "It's an empire." David needed to meet Nathan. He drove to Valley Hardware, where Nathan worked as a cashier. Clean-shaven, in a polo, David approached him. "You're Nathan, right? Heard you run the neighborhood enforcement group." Nathan beamed. "Director of Compliance. You interested in joining?" David played along. "Just moved to Crestwood. Got a citation. Heard there's a block supervisor role." Nathan's ego took the bait. "We need authority. People respect the badge. Come to our board meeting Friday." David shook his hand, adrenaline surging. He'd infiltrated the lion's den. Friday was the trap. David designed flyers mimicking Nathan's style, mandatory compliance assembly, all homeowners required. He printed 60, slipping them into mailboxes, even the storage units. He tipped off a news outlet, sending photos, recordings, and the fake license. He called the police, asking them to observe. At 4:30 p.m., Emily helped load evidence into the car. "Burn it down," she said, kissing him. By 5 p.m., the abandoned bank Nathan called his office was packed. Residents clutched flyers, nervous. Nathan, Greg, and Ryan arrived, smug in their fake uniforms. David greeted them, clipboard in hand. "Director Reed, quite the turnout." Nathan grinned. "People crave structure." David smiled. "They'll get more than that." At 5:12 p.m., Nathan began his speech. David clicked the projector. Slide 1. Greg taping a fake citation. The crowd gasped. Slide 2. Ryan boasting about scamming terrified homeowners. Murmurs grew. Slide 3. Nathan's fake company license. Nathan spun around. "Who are you?" David stepped forward. "The guy who watched you steal from us." "There's no HOA. Just lies." The room exploded. "They took $4,200 from me," one shouted. "They threatened my mom," another cried. 2 plainclothes officers stepped forward. "Nathan Reed, you're under arrest for fraud, impersonation, and racketeering." Cuffs clicked. Greg and Ryan froze as the crowd's rage surged. Nathan glared at David. "You set me up." David leaned in. "You built the trap. I just sprung it." The officers led them out. No cheers, just silence. Heavy, victorious. The aftermath was chaos. Neighbors swapped stories. Fake fines for roof tiles, threats over wind chimes. David organized a sign-up sheet for victims. A journalist in the back texted, "Sunday prime slot." "Interview." David replied, "Victims speak first." By Monday, the city attorney called. "Your case sparked a wave. We're counting complaints." News headlines screamed. Fake HOA crushed by furious dad. Charges piled up. 18 counts of fraud, 10 of elder abuse, RICO violations. Bail was denied. Weeks later, David proposed a final act. The storage unit still stood, a scar on Crestwood. He got the property manager's permission to dismantle it. On a Saturday, 40 neighbors gathered, crowbars, gloves, muffins from Mrs. Ellison, the widow who'd lost her car. They tore it down, smashing the table, shredding the banner, dropping the printer from a ladder. Mrs. Ellison swung a sledgehammer, screaming, "For my dignity." The crowd roared. David sprayed on the wall. No fear. No rulers. No more. The court allowed one last twist. Nathan, Greg, and Ryan, under supervision, dismantled the unit's frame. No cameras, just victims watching. Nathan hissed, "This fixes nothing." David replied, "It's justice when the law runs out of paper." A new sign went up. This was fear and fraud. We made it memory. Months later, the graffiti remained. We fought back. Never again. Crestwood healed, but David's garage wall stayed. A reminder. He added a note. Someone's always watching. We'll be ready. What do you think? Was David's vigilante justice heroic or reckless? Should communities take down scams themselves or leave it to the system? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take on this explosive fight for justice. Subscribe for more gripping stories that spark debate.